I don't know how I didn't know this, but what I just learned has completely changed my approach in Chimera. Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and I just learned the most obvious thing, and it has changed my approach to Chimera a little bit. So recently I crashed out straight up. I had a major meltdown over the nerfs and buffs to Chimera because I could not find success any longer. I did ultimately wrap my head around a team that worked a lot better. This is the team that I'm currently running. I have Lamasu in the lead for the big aura, for speed aura, and as a decrease attack champion is her primary role here, but she also brings, decrease attack and decrease speed, right? That is her primary role, and she happens to bring a reset too as well. I have my Androck as a turn meter booster battery, just crazy beast, and also my healer, which I always forget that he does until I need it. So yes, Androck is in the team. And then I have Elva, talked about her, made a whole video on her, but cleanse, block debuffs. But yes, great champion overall for what I'm looking for. And then Lydia. Lydia is a huge asset to my team. And Lydia is the cornerstone of, in my opinion, most I want to say conventional, but that's not the right word, but most players who don't have these massive rosters full of mythicals and void legendaries, Lydia is going to be the secret for you to get through Chimera. And let's talk about why real quickly, and that will tie into what I learned today that changed my approach. Listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril, as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. This team is still staying the same, but I did change something. You'll probably get to see a sneak peek of what I changed here. But let's talk about Lydia really quickly. I've made a video on this before, but Lydia, anytime I do a Chimera, my first question is like a Chimera takeover or a recommendation or guide or help with my clan, I immediately ask, are you using Lydia? Because Lydia is just so freaking good in there. So we'll talk first about the A3. So the A3, she brings that block buffs. Now I am getting that also from Lamasu, but that block buffs is huge for preventing increased speed from going on the ultimate form of Chimera. Poison sensitivity doesn't matter. And then block active skills for the Viper. This is primarily why I want to bring her, because block active skills is something that is not rare, but you don't want to just bring somebody only for block active skills, or at least I don't. I would rather bring somebody that can bring more to the table, and she does bring more. She brings a lot more to the table than just block active skills, because she's a decreased defense and weakened champion, which means your damage is going to be going up, and she brings a strengthen to reduce the damage you take and an increased speed, so you're going to get more turns relative to the Chimera in theory. So those 2 reasons are why I bring her. Now, the other unique thing about her kit is that she does place fear on the A1, but it is the small version of fear, and that kind of stinks. Now, if you are aware of the new changes that they did to Chimera, the Ram form, now you can mitigate the reflect damage if you can put the champion under fear. This is a big deal because if you guys look earlier, I use Acrizia as my damage dealer. This is enemy max HP, so she's going to do massive amounts of damage even with her A1 that will kill her. That will, like, there's no like, oh well, maybe I can just use just her A1 and she'll live, or just use maybe the A2 doesn't, everything does enemy max HP. She gonna kill herself, and she does a lot. So I need the big version of fear, which makes the reflect damage completely go away. So how do I get that with this team? Lydia. I'm sure you're like, well, but you just told us, Roadblock, that Lydia only brings the small version of fear. So how can Lydia do it? Well, that's where Nature's Bounty comes in. Now, I knew what Nature's Bounty did, just to clarify, like I'm not a complete idiot, but I didn't know that it affected fear, as you can see here. So whenever this champion applies a poison, decrease attack, decrease defense, decrease speed, decrease accuracy, heal reduction, weaken, fear, crit damage, decrease crit rate, decrease resistance, has a chance to place a greater version of this debuff. Now, I just didn't know fear was in here. In fact, somebody posted this to me, and I read this 4 times and was like, but it doesn't say fear. And then for whatever reason, I read it back again, and I was like, oh no, it does say fear. Look, it's right there. Okay, cool. That means that the small version of fear on her A1 can get upgraded to the big version of fear, and I tested it. I'm gonna have my editor go ahead and put up this screenshot over here. Where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go? All right. And then you can see that she placed the big version of fear in that screenshot because I tested it earlier to make sure that it worked. Now the only downside, and I want to be clear about this, guys, this is not like this is not a guarantee. I managed to it took me 2 attempts to get it to land, and it didn't stick for very long because it's only a 15% chance with a 1-star blessing. So I really now want a 6-star blessing so it can go up to 60%. And even that is not a guarantee, and we need to remember that, right? But the good news is that if she is your dual target, she's just going to A1 the boss anyways. And because I think he throws out some big crowd control, that I think her passive will take effect still, and that she will get a couple extra A1s in there. If you could pair her up with like a small ally attacker or something like that, or, you know, if you can manage to fit in a big ally attacker, that can be very helpful. But now Lydia can cover all of the bosses, which I really, really like. Now, one thing that I did on Lydia, and it worked once, but not the second time, which was a little annoying to me, is I put her in the aspect of Siroth. And I may have to upgrade this, although I don't think it will matter. Oh yeah, the damage reduction. Yeah, that will matter. Okay, I should upgrade that to plus 12. But yeah, the aspect of Siroth, I put her in it so that she wouldn't die. She is my dual target. I've given her a couple of socket gem slots that will reduce the damage that she takes from the boss in hopes that she won't die. So yeah, basically that is what I'm doing. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that. Now, again, you do need a relatively higher blessing chance to really get a good opportunity for this. So just keep that in mind. I don't want people to make this switch and be pissed off at me because it never works. But it's better than nothing, right? If you're running Lydia and you're not running another champion that brings true fear, why not, right? Why not give yourself the chance to do better? My team already works without this, but it will increase my damage because once I see that, I manual my fights, little caveat there, but once I land that true fear, I'm immediately going to start unloading with Acrisia because she won't die. There it is. Okay, when attacked, reflects 25% of the damage the Chimera receives back to the attacker, unless they're under a dual effect. Reflects 10% of the damage instead if the Chimera is under a fear debuff. Will not reflect any damage if the Chimera is under a true fear debuff. So everything that I'm talking about gives me that opportunity, right, to get that damage reflection off the board so that I can let my Acrisia unload. And this doesn't have to be Acrisia. This could be, you know, even Marius. I know my ninja used to kill himself on this form too. So yeah, it's just a different approach. And I just didn't know that that did that. And it makes so much sense to go ahead and put that on my Lydia, and so that's what I've done, and I wanted to recommend it for you guys because I think it could change your approach. Now, I've made a Chimera video in the past. It's on this channel. I recommend you guys check that one out. Maybe I need to update it because they made some changes, right? So maybe I will. Maybe I'll make a whole new Chimera video, but I highly recommend that one if you are struggling on Chimera because I kind of break down step by step each of the areas. So, all right, well, we're going to call that a video. A little short one here, which is awesome. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. It really does help me out. I am trying to build this channel up a little bit, and it would mean a lot to me if you would do so. Either way, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Take care.